Bye, Da. Good night.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
So, audio open and
Excuse me. Yesterday allergies started in, and so my nose has been running. I'll try not to be gross about it, but. Welcome, everyone. One of my favorite things to do is talk about emotional intelligence. So happy to have you guys here and have a conversation. This is not going to be a lecture thing where I just talk the whole time. So I'd like for you guys to be involved if you're up for it. I don't think you can learn about emotions just by someone talking to you about them and understanding them. That's a good thing to know about them, but you kind of have to experience them and find them inside of you, and it's so personal. Wait just another minute or two and we'll get started. I guess special hello to Matthew. My name is Matthew also, and it's spelled the same way with one T. Matt is two T's, but Matthew is one T for me. I don't know if that's the same for you, but I have seen very few Matthews with one T. So that's pretty cool. Maybe one more minute. Hello, sir.
Sound breaking.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess let's get started. Jayan, do you want to do introduction or shall I?
Yes, I'll do.
Okay.
Yes, just 1 second.
Yep.
Yes, good evening and a warm welcome to all one and all present here. Today we are conducting 3 days international workshop on emotional intelligence. And our speaker is for trainers, Mr. Matt. After teaching deep emotional intelligence workshop for over 35 years, Matt has touched thousands through his humor, wisdom, and loving insights. Most people have never had the concept of being smart with our heart, mind, and feeling. So Matt has made it his mission to share EQ with as many people as possible. People are dying quite literally to know what we know about EQ. Understanding and managing our inner world is no longer just a nice to have skill. It is a set of urgent need to have survival coping skills that must be made available to all ages and education levels from preschool to PhD. Learning to understand, manage and enjoy our thoughts, feelings, decision and action is the pathway to inner peace, interpersonal peace and social peace, ultimately leading to global peace. So I am warm welcome to Mr. Matt for the 3 days international workshop on emotional intelligence. Thank you. Over to sir.
Okay, all right. Well, welcome everyone. Again, as I mentioned, I very much enjoy speaking about emotional intelligence and love having people that are interested in what we're talking about. We're trying to change the world here. I think it's just wrong that emotions aren't taught in schools everywhere. And so we have a nonprofit and we are trying very hard to get emotional education everywhere and all the way up worldwide, etc. So I wanted to say hello to you. Maybe just hi. Hi, Balwinder.
Hello, Matt. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Thank you so much for letting me in.
You bet. Glad to have you. And Dr. Abindra, hello, sir. Nice to have you too. And everybody else, these are just people that I happen to know. Sorry, I don't mean to exclude anybody. Jincy, hi, nice to see you. Hello. You guys
Hello,
turn
sir.
on your
Hello,
camera.
everyone.
Maybe. All right. Maybe turn on your camera just for a second if you don't mind and say hello and a little wave. Otherwise, I'm just talking to a bunch of black boxes and that feels kind of weird. So there we go. Hello.
Good evening,
Great.
Matt. Thanks for the invitation.
Hey, yes, no problem. Thanks for joining, sir. So we're going to, I'm not going to lecture the whole time, you guys. I am not going to talk the whole time. I would like for you to be involved. This is not something that I can just go, here's your emotions, here's how they work, and then you got it from then on. It doesn't work that way. Emotions are very, very personal, and they're yours, and you're different than me, and you think different than other people, and you feel different than other people, and that's a good thing. That's a wonderful thing. But it means that I can't just tell you how it's done. We got to bring it out. We got to bring it out. So I'm going to request that you get involved. Okay. So anybody go ahead and put in the chat if you'd like. I'd like for this to be a little chatty. You can unmute, or preferably in the chat is just what do you want to get out of this? Why are you here? How can we help you? Why does this interest you, kind of thing?
We just wanted to be like you.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure that's a very good plan. But okay. Yeah. In what way? Let me put it that way. How about in what way? In what way?
That's walk and talk, no?
Okay.
So
okay.
Emotional intelligence, you are the apt person for the topic. And like I've seen your Facebook postings and I know about you. And you are living with the intelligence. I just love it.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you. That's quite a compliment. Thank you. I worked hard to get like this. I didn't used to be like this. I worked hard to get this. Read my lips.
Yeah, I just love you so much, Matt. Love you.
Thank you. That's very sweet. All right. Anybody else? Why are you guys here? How can we help you? We're going to be together for 4.5 hours, hopefully. So get to know each other a little bit. So why are you here? Yeah. Belrinda?
Yes, Matt. I see you. You are ocean of love, ocean of laughter, ocean of fun, ocean of life, ocean of happiness. That's what we all want, but we do not know the secret. We do not. And you have found the secret. So we are dying to steal your life secret. So that's why I'm here. I'm blessed. Okay. Somehow I found you. and
All
you're
right.
the best person in this world. So yes, of course, my comment is similar to Gopalner, ma'am. We would like to become like you.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
In certain ways. Okay. That's cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored. Jincy, do you mind sharing a little bit? How can we help you? Hi.
I want to help. First, I want to help myself as well as others to be emotionally balanced. Because many people I have seen, they are not able to. They are very intelligent. They have many successful things in their life, but they are not able to balance their emotions.
Yeah. Yep. Right
Sometimes
on.
even my kids also. So I just want to help all of them.
Nice. Nice.
Thank
Nice.
you.
And yourself, like you said, first. That's what you do
Yes.
here, right?
Yes.
Good. Good.
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Beautiful. All right. So I guess we could I'd like to get to know all of you, but we need to get going. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. And where is it? Wow. Just a second. I'm having trouble finding it. To share it. Just a second. Sorry. And like I said, I'm not going to go into, I want to talk a little bit. I want to talk a little bit to get started, and then I'll switch back to you guys and talk to you about stuff. And I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to give an assessment toward the end where we go through and ask you to assess yourself on different rating system. So you can put that in the chat. I'm just giving you some warning. So you can be ready. All right. And I'm going to try again to share my screen. Hang on. Here we go. There we go. All right. All right. So can you see it? Anybody thumbs up? Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Good. Thanks. Okay. So we're going to talk about how developing our EQ, emotional intelligence. We call it EQ. There's other names for it. I'll go into that in a minute. Here's what I want to hear. I got big goals for this workshop. All right. Bring you good news. This is good news, you guys. This is really good news. This is how you get one of these, or you get your smiles from. This is good news. There's so much bad news in the world today. Oh my goodness. There's so much going on that's not good, in my opinion. I mean, I might not be seeing it. I'd be seeing it negatively, but wow. But this is some of the best news there is, and this is emotional intelligence that we get to be in charge of what happens inside of us. Even no matter what's happening out there, it ain't them, it's us. We get to be in charge, and that is a beautiful thing. Okay, so I'm going to help you increase your EQ, how well you know yourself and the world around you. We're going to go with that. EQ starts with ER, which is emotional responsibility, which I will go into in depth, because this is one of the most important things about emotional intelligence, is that you own your own thoughts and feelings. That's the key to being in charge of your life, in my opinion. That is the key to being in charge of your life, is that you take the leap, if you will, that emotional intelligence is inside of you, that your thoughts and your feelings are yours, not theirs. Nobody made you feel anything. Nobody makes you think anything. You do that yourself. You get to be in charge of that. You can adjust things. It's a wonderful thing, right? Biggest skill, best news ever. And we can create better relationships with yourself. We do have a relationship with ourselves and with others, right? That, as Jincy was mentioning, we can deal with ourselves, and we can deal with others better by being more aware of our own thoughts and feelings. So, and we can feel better. You can feel better. You can feel more. You can feel more hopeful. You can feel more fulfilled and satisfied with your life going forward if you know this stuff. So, like I said, I want it to be experiential and involved. I'm already lecturing and doing the opposite of that, which is not too cool, but I'll get to it in just a minute. All right, we'll get to your side of it in just a minute, but I want to talk for a few minutes. We got to do left brain and right brain. So information, I was reading about education, and education works best if people understand why they're learning and then what they're learning in that order. So we're doing why first. So I want to introduce you to EQ, and which is also called SEL, social emotional learning in schools sometimes, especially in the United States. It's also called EI, which is what it probably should be called, is EI, emotional intelligence, right? Duh. But most of us call it EQ to connect it with IQ. EQ, a lot of people know what IQ is. Their thoughts, their logic, and their knowledge. And we got to use the other side of our brain also and do our emotions and our creativity and our senses and our passion. We put them both together, we got a pretty cool life. If you only do one side, you get all not balanced. Both use the word, you guys use the word balance, and that is a very good word. We're trying to balance them. So, so EQ for Peace is the name of our nonprofit. I'll tell you some about that. And PMH is Positive Mental Health, which I'll talk about that in a few minutes. So we're trying to combine our left and right brain together. We're trying our head and our heart, if you will, our IQ and our EQ, our left brain and our right brain. We're trying to balance. So we're working on both sides. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm saying that we know quite a bit about our emotions, our thought processes, because that's what we do in school. But we don't know very much about our emotions, and we need to increase that side of us. We need to increase that so that we can have balance. I think it's wrong that it isn't taught in all schools. Very true. So emotional mastery is what we're shooting for. We're trying to increase and enhance and create and enjoy and appreciate the good stuff, the joy and peace and love. You can actually create that, which is pretty cool. And in order to do that, we have to be really good at the downside too. The downside, to be able to identify and understand and even embrace and learn from our fear, our anger, our sadness, our guilt, our shame, our depression, our anxiety, our tension, all this stuff they're there. They're real. We have to deal with them. We've got to deal with them. And if we do deal with them, then we can bring it up and into the positive. And that's a wonderful thing. So that's where we're going with this. Just to give you an idea, we're doing 3 days, right? So I've broken down emotional intelligence into 3 big steps, which I'll talk about in a minute. Awareness first. We got to be aware first, or we can't do anything. Acceptance. Seems like it's not a big step. It is huge. It's a huge step, is accepting who we are, what's happening around us, what happens inside of other people. Acceptance is huge. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. And then action. Action is a big part of this, right? What do we do with this? What do we do with this? Or what do we not do with it? No action is a good action sometimes, especially with strong emotions, right? So we're going to talk about that on Friday. So we're talking about awareness today. Awareness. We're opening our eyes, we're opening our heart, open our mind. What do we want to do with all this? In my opinion, this is my opinion, it's the second biggest problem in the world today, the lack of emotional intelligence. It is causing, we can't, hard to prove these things, but in my opinion, it's a root cause of violence and abuse, certainly of addictions, right? Addictions are all about feelings. It feels good, doesn't make any sense, but it feels good. I'm going to keep doing it, right? Even just because it feels good. So they don't make any sense, but they feel great. So it's not balance. Suicide, oh my goodness, right? You guys, it's so much, they're so bad right now. It's skyrocketing in the United States. I personally know of 6 people in our little bitty town of 5,000. 6 people are gone now. It's just incredible. And most of them are friends of my kids. They're younger people. It's just wrong. And in my opinion, that's exactly what we're doing here, is that people don't know how to deal with their thoughts and feelings. They get overwhelmed. They start telling themselves, I can't handle this. It's not going to stop. And boom, they're gone. And man, wow. Wow. Anyway, divorce is up, addictions are up, violence is up, domestic violence is up, child abuse is up. It's incredible. Mental health problems are now coming. I don't know that they're up. I think they are up. Actually, they are up, but also the awareness of it is up, which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because there's so many of them. They've now connected emotions with physical health. This is your physical health, and that you actually live longer if you deal with your emotions. So that's kind of encouraging, I think. and crime, of course, and war. We're hoping that the point of our nonprofit is teaching peace. And we're saying that if people know more about their emotions, they can actually create peace in their lives. If we don't know about them, we don't know how are we supposed to create peace if we don't know how? So we're trying to teach people how. And the way you do it is by being in charge of your emotions. So the problem is we don't learn about all this stuff in schools. We don't learn about mental health in schools yet. It's starting to be required in schools in the United States, which is a wonderful thing, but it's a good and bad. It's wonderful that it's being required. The reason it's being required is because things are awful. Unhappiness, stress, anxieties, people start self-medicating, destroyed relationships, divisiveness, and aloneness, creating suicides a lot of time. Alone is one of the worst things for people. Us humans like to be not alone. We like to be with people. We're social critters. So emotional education is the key. Positive mental health. I mentioned that before. I'm going to mention it again. That's about mental health usually has kind of a negative to it. Positive mental health says we can go down, we can learn about our negatives and learn how to heal them and come up and keep coming up. We can keep going. We can keep going, not just get back to normal, which was the point of therapy for many, many years. We can do better than that. That's positive psychology, positive mental health. Emotional intelligence is the key. It's a set of teachable skills. Teachable skills. You guys are here learning teachable skills right now, right? That's pretty cool. So that's a wonderful thing. And that's why I'm jumping up and down about it. And that's why I'm here, is that this is teachable. We can teach people how to deal with their emotions and bring it out and put it in both IQ and EQ, both. So that's what we're doing here. We're born with everything we need. We're born with everything we need emotionally. We just don't necessarily know how to use it. So that's why education is so important. It's not taught in schools. Our parents didn't teach us because they didn't know, and we better not deal with it at work, right? So school, home, work, all of them, all the way around. When we're trying to do parents, teachers, and bosses, because they're up here and they have a ripple effect downward. And so we're trying to teach parents, teachers, and bosses. And I imagine you guys are fit into some of those. And so anyway, we need to talk about emotional intelligence and social emotional learning. The three main points that we're going to be working with are thoughts, feelings, and actions. That's it. That's it. There isn't that much to it. This isn't rocket science. It's not particularly difficult. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's super simple. It's not complicated. That's the word I was looking for. It's not complicated. It's real simple, but it's not easy sometimes. It's not easy at all sometimes. So we're talking about thoughts, feelings, and actions. This is from 6seconds.org. If you want to learn more about it, they're a great resource. They have training, they have information, they have assessments, they have certifications, they have all kind of stuff on EQ. They're the largest EQ trainer in the world. I've been working with them for 20 years or so. This is off of their website, Think, Feel, Act. They like to keep things real simple, like I do. My IQ is not that great, so I try to keep things really simple. My thoughts, my left brain thoughts, my right brain feelings, and my body acts. That's it. That's it. That's me in charge of me, right? That's just me being in charge of me. So let's try it for a second. Do you guys, let's see. We're going to talk about, would you guys be up for trying a breakout rooms? You guys know what breakout rooms are? That's where you talk to each other. Yeah. Do you want to try it? Okay. Let's give it a shot. I haven't done this too many times, but some. So I'm going to, I think I need to stop sharing my screen. There we go. So we got 19 people. This is great, you guys. Excellent. All right, let's try it. So I'm going to put you in breakout rooms. Just 2 people in a room. We've got 5 minutes. I'll give you 5 minutes. We will, and what I would like to do is, let's see, so we'll do 10 or 9 rooms. You might have 3, but probably not. And I'll give you 5 minutes, and go ahead and jump into the room. You'll need to click a button that says join the room. So you go in there. If you have any problems, stick around and I'll help you. If you want to jump out and talk to me or whatever, I'll just stay here and be available. So let's see. let's see, options. Okay, I'm going to do 5 minutes, and you'll get a countdown when you have when there's 1 minute left up on the screen. And what I'm looking for is, all right, what we're looking for is 3 things. What do you think? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And what are you doing? Think, feel, act. I just want you to be aware and accept what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you're doing. If you guys would share that with each other one at a time, okay? So ready? Here we go. Go ahead and join one of the rooms, or join the room that you're assigned to. If you guys don't want to join the room, that's okay. Do you want to, if you want to share just right here, that's okay too. I knew Sunil, would you rather not join the room? Do you want to just talk with me, or? Okay. Hi, Jincy. What's up?
Hi, I came back actually. I was with Dr. Ulhanan. I think he is experiencing some network
Oh,
issues. He's not able to.
okay.
So I just
Okay.
came.
Okay. Good job. So, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you doing?
I'm feeling good after, I like this topic, emotional intelligence. Sometime back, I got a chance to attend such type of webinar, so I learned something. From that, I could able to apply some, techniques. Through that, I could able to balance my emotions. Not 100% I can say, but I want to do it more and I want to balance more.
Beautiful. Okay. So, what are you feeling right now? So, can you?
I feel very nice. I feel happy.
Happy? Oh, good. Good.
Especially seeing your face because you're so smiling and very cheerful person, so that I feel personally it's very nice to
Nice.
attend.
Okay. Okay. Do you have what in general, what other things have you been feeling these days?
Actually, I'm a little anxious towards, I want to set up a business. So that I'm working on that. A little bit I get anxious at a time, but I try to not anxious so much, so that I know that anxious is not good for health, physical health. So I do meditate, and again I'll just try I'm just thinking, I'm doing various, how I can success, I can make successful my business like that. I'm just writing my goals. So I'm working towards it.
Okay. Good awareness. Good awareness.
Thank you.
Anxious. Yeah. Where do you feel the anxious in your body when you feel it?
When I feel anxious, I feel little stress. From hurt.
In your heart?
Yes.
What's it feel like? Tight?
Yeah, because I sometimes we may not get help from others, especially. So expectation. So that I don't want. I want to cut off that expectations, and I want to
Yeah, I hear that.
100% faith, to Almighty God, and then in me, so that I know that I will be successful.
Nice. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good awareness. Hi, welcome back, guys. Anybody like to share what they experienced or what they heard?
Yes, sir. I am Sister Stella from Telangana.
Hi.
Near Andhra Pradesh. But, sir, I was trying to enter, but it was not working. Then I felt it was not working. My thinking was how to enter, and then I was sad. I could find another number, and I could enter. Then I became happy.
Very good.
Thinking, feeling, and action.
Cool. Very good.
Okay,
Good.
sir.
Good awareness.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sunil sir.
Anybody else like to share?
Sunil sir.
Hello?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Continue.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I was invited to breakout room number 3 where Shilpa madam was there. And we were very happy. We introduced each other, and what we thinking was the anxiousness or eagerness to know or learn emotional intelligence. That what was our thinking and feeling also. Earlier, I have attended Max's training, so I'm feeling very happy at this moment. And the act was I was literally concentrating and focusing on what you have just told. Thank you. And Shilpa madam was also there. Later, Dr. Ullanan sir also joined. Thank you. Thank you, man, sir.
All right. Thanks for sharing.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
I am joining from Orissa.
One more.
And sir, I am joining from Orissa.
Good evening, Matt sir.
Good evening. Hello.
I'm Mulahanan from Palkad, Kerala.
Hello.
Sir, really, I am happy to see you again.
Great. Happy to see you too. How you doing?
Sir, I understood one thing. Without that emotional intelligence, our life is in a crucial way, in a crucial state of affairs.
Definitely do agree.
Because that emotional items we should understand and deal with others, then we are happy.
Right.
Otherwise, we will be out of station.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Good,
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thanks for sharing. Yes. Thank you. And thanks for the compliments. Yeah. So one of the things I was just noticing, I say just a second about when I say, instead of how are you doing? If you ask people, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? They will usually tell you, in my opinion, they usually tell you what they're feeling physically, How are you doing? Well, I'm not feeling that good. Well, I'm tired. In America, people answer, almost everybody says, I'm tired. It's wild how many people are tired because they're exhausted from trying to keep up and trying to handle all the stuff that's coming at us and then all the problems now. It's just everybody says they're tired, which is a physical thing. I go, what are you feeling? So instead of how are you doing, I try to ask people, what are you feeling? And you get a much more much better answer, more deeper, more interesting answer. So try that. What are you feeling instead of how are you doing? So Balwinder, what are you feeling?
I'm feeling super excited because this was my first opportunity, first time in my life during 55 years, when I got opportunity to talk to one-on-one with my sister from India, from my root. Automatically, I felt so connected, so happy. So of course, based on your question, this is ice-breaking activity, right? So when I asked her, how you feel? Of course, she was feeling happy.
Okay.
And we were able to share our excitement, our happiness, our desire, burning desire for learning. Why? Because we know ourselves. When crisis comes, we collapse. We shattered. We do not know what to do. We ended up in hospital because we do not know how to control our emotions, our thoughts. And due to this ignorance, we break into different pieces.
Right. Yep.
So this is this is the one main reason. How can we stay calm, collected, grounded during big storm?
Yep.
Thank you.
Right. Well done. Nice. Good answer. Good answer. Yes, ma'am. Well done. All right. I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint for a minute. Thank you guys for sharing. I hope that was helpful for you to go in the breakout rooms. It allows everybody to be involved at the same time. So it's really helpful. I wanted to show this first, and I should have, I'm sorry, but this is called Plutchik's wheel. It's hard to pronounce his name. Plutchik's wheel of emotions. Again, on 6 seconds, they have an awesome version of this where it's interactive and you can click on different things and show different the opposites and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool. But anyway, it's a real helpful. A lot of times, you guys, it's really helpful to be able to name your feelings. Name it to tame it, I call it. Be able to identify at least to yourself. At least to yourself. What are you feeling? You don't want to tell anybody what to, but it really helps to be able to know inside of you what's going on, what the heck, what's going on. And but let me also say that a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people get stuck here. They're like, wow, what am I feeling? They're trying so hard to identify what they're feeling, the name of it. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it matters a lot. Sometimes it doesn't matter at all. I'm just feeling something. I don't care what you call it. It's a feeling, right? I don't care what I call it. Don't get stuck there because we're trying to do right and left brain balance, right? If you're feeling something, that's a right brain thing. And then you jump over and try to identify. So if you get stuck over on the left side trying to identify it and then you miss losing the feeling itself, so we got to do both. So sometimes it really helps to identify it. Sometimes it's totally irrelevant. So I don't know. That's how it works. Their emotions are weird that way. They're mushy. They're move around. They're not boom, boom, boom. They're not like that. It's not like that. So sometimes it's this way. Sometimes it's not that way. That's going to happen a lot. Get used to that. So now that you're thinking and feeling, you get to choose how you act. We get to choose. Choose is one of the most wonderful things about emotional intelligence. It gives us choices. It gives us way more options. It gives us freedom because we're more aware of what we're thinking and feeling. It's all this great information that our body is trying to give us. If we will listen to it, we can do some amazing things with it. If we don't listen to it, it's going to do what it's going to do, and it might not turn out very well. But the cool part is that once we figure out what we're thinking and feeling, then we can decide, we can make good decisions, we can make responsible decisions, and we can take good actions, and we can get better results. So, so awareness is the key to this whole thing. Step one, we can't do anything. I got a quote on that. A mentor is Doc Downing, Myron Doc Downing is on Facebook and all over, written good books on it, and he's taught me we worked together for 25 years now or something like that. He's a therapist, he's a PhD, and he has this wonderful way of making things really simple, so even I can understand them. And he said, we cannot make logical decisions based on stuff we're not aware of. It's kind of a no kidding. You can't make a decision on something if you're not even aware of it, right? But it's really important that we become aware. Open our eyes, open our heart, go look, become aware of ourselves. That's the key. I mean, that's what we're talking about today is awareness. We'll go on from there tomorrow and the next day, but awareness is the first key to everything, We've got to be aware first. So it may not change what we decide, but it will give us additional choices. And that's a wonderful thing. Sometimes having too many choices kind of can be stressful, but that's a good problem, right? We have bad problems and good problems. A bad problem is I don't have any choice. Good problem is I got lots of choices I can't decide. Well, that's a good problem. That's a good problem because you can and you will decide. So anyway, EQ gives us choices. So let me talk just a second about positive mental health. We can do better. Positive psychology, started by Dr. Seligman in University of Pennsylvania, said we go to therapy. People go to therapy to because they have problems. They're down. They're having problems and issues and stuff, right? So they're down here. So that's negative. And the purpose of therapy for hundreds of years was to bring it back to normal, help people get back to normal, which means we're going to zero, basically. Positive psychology, he said, was, wait a minute, we don't have to stop there. We can study how people are really successful, really happy, really loving, really who live longer, who are healthier. How do they do that? They don't just deal with the negatives. They actually go to positive. And with positive psychology, he said, we can do better. And I'm saying with mental health, we can do better. We can manage our negatives to create more positives. We can deal with the negatives and create more positives. And here's my high-tech graphic about that, which says we can go down, deal with the negatives, and come back up and keep going and keep going. So the positives are joy, love, and peace, what we're looking for. So we have to deal with our fear, anger, sadness down below, and that's okay. And that's okay. We're not saying don't deal with it. We're not saying hide it, avoid it, any of that stuff. I'm saying do deal with it and come back up and let it go when you're done. So we'll talk about how to deal with that in a little bit. In my opinion, this is one of the most important things, is that in order to be my best, I got to handle my worst. I need to handle my worst, which means that like I said about the negative emotions, I think I have a slide on this, but anyway, the negatives down here, fear, anger, and sadness, those big three, those are the big three. If I can deal with my fear, my biggest fears, and I've got a bunch of them, man, I've got a bunch of them. I used to have so many more, but I still get scared. I've been scared my whole life, and I'm still scared about different things. Now it's weird because just the other day I was thinking, I used to have all these childhood issues about fear, which I've been working on for a long time, and I'm getting through some of those. Now they're current. Now they're current things I'm scared of. There's stuff that's really happening in the world and in the future. Fear is future based, right? Fear is about the future. You're not afraid of something that already happened. You're afraid of what's gonna happen, or what is happening, but it's what's gonna happen, what I think I'm afraid is gonna happen, right? It's fear of the future. I'm afraid of our current future, not my childhood issues, but my current stuff. So anyway, anger, if you can handle your fear and your anger, get good at your anger. Please, you guys, be aware that it's okay to be angry. Some things, some of the actions you can feel angry. Some of the actions that people take when they're angry are not a good thing, not a good idea, but those are different. The feeling part of it is okay and very educational and very motivational sometimes, and very powerful a lot of times. I think it's one of the most strongest feelings that to get stuff done is your anger. You take your anger and you shift it. What I do, I shift it. I do not have a slide on this. I should. And I go, I'm angry about that, but I'm shifting it to this, to something that I can do something about something. I can make change. It's something I can that I can have some control over, right? There's a lot of things we don't have control over. One of the things I should say in here, awareness, is differentiating between what we have control over and what we don't. And there's a big difference, and what we can affect, not necessarily control, but we can, right? They say you can't control other people. Doc, like I said before, Doc is, one of his quotes is about, we have no control over other people. We have total control over ourselves. Well, we don't have no control over other people. We can't control them, but we can affect them. We can ask them. We can talk to them. We can help them. We can do other stuff. We can't make them, but we can ask them. We can help move them around. So that's high emotional intelligence, in my opinion. My point was, sorry, I get all excited. My point was, if we can handle our fear, our anger, and our deep, deep sadness, those three, as much as our body feels them, there just isn't that much that life can throw at us that we cannot handle. Okay? If we can handle our fear, anger, and sadness, there isn't much that life can throw at us that we can't handle. And that, my friends, is a very beautiful, beautiful feeling, is to know that I can handle this. I can manage my life. I can survive. I can function. I can deal with my emotions. If things go wrong, I'll be okay. If things go wrong, I will deal with it. If I have negative emotions, that's okay. I'm going to be okay with them. They will pass, and I know how to pass them. And I'm in charge, not them. I'm in charge of my feelings. They're not in charge of me, right? Knowing that I have control over my fear, anger, and sadness gives me incredible power over my life and incredible ability to be open and loving and wonderful, because if it doesn't go well, I'll deal with it. I will deal with it because I can deal with stuff. So we're talking about emotions. Emotions matter. They're the study. EQ is the study of me and you and we, how we connect. No matter what happens outside of us, we have the power to control what happens inside of us. Okay, I'm just going through the basics real quick for you, and then I want to get back to you guys again. Okay, both sides. We're trying to do both sides, left brain, right brain. I like this picture. It's a fun one. It's not exactly how it works exactly, but it helps you make sense of things. IQ is about your logic, your reason, your science, sequential thinking. Bum, 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 bum. A plus B equals C. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's all left brain stuff. Right brain stuff that we don't normally focus on is our feelings and our passion and our senses and our body and our love and our creativity and our peace. All that kind of stuff is over on the right brain. That's where I want to focus, not because the left brain doesn't matter, because it does, but to add to it because we have never studied it much. And so now it's time. Aristotle said that educating the mind, the left brain, without educating the heart, right brain, is no education at all. All right. I don't know about that. I don't know if it's no education, but you get the idea. It's important. It's important. So I want to talk about this for a minute because it's really important. I should have probably done this earlier. It's important because it's why we are doing, it's how we progress, how we make progress, how we learn anything, how we learn EQ, but it's also about how we learn anything. So let me go through this real quick. So first, we are unconsciously incompetent, which means we don't know that we don't know. All right. How much do you guys know about surgery? How much do you know about rocket engines? How much do you know about, microbiology? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. There's all kinds of stuff that I don't know, all kinds that I know. So we start off our education with stuff we don't even know that we don't know, all right? And that's where most of the world is on emotional intelligence, by the way, is they don't even know that they don't know. They don't know that's the problem. They don't know it's the solution. They don't know that they don't know about emotions. So that's why I'm jumping up and down about it. It's pretty important. Secondly, we find out that we don't know. Well, I want to congratulate you guys because a lot of you that's where we are right now with emotional intelligence. All right, I need to know some more information. Valwinder shared, her and her sister said, hey, we need to learn more about this, right? Okay, that's consciously incompetent. Some people get kind of self-abusive. Oh, I should have known that, or oh, come on, and stuff like that. What an idiot I am. No, if you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. Give yourself a break. If you don't know, find out, right? And that's step 3. So we go from consciously incompetent, I find out that I don't know, to consciously competent. I find out how to know. Well, I think I'll take a class. I think I'll read a book on it. I think I will talk to a coach about it. I think I'll watch some YouTubes about it. Something. Go find out how to know. That's consciously competent. That's an action that you took based on your feelings and your thoughts. And your thoughts were, I need to know more. And you took action and said, I'm going to go find out more. That's step 3. That's a beautiful thing. Good job. You're making progress. Step 4, maybe eventually someday, I'm hoping someday I'll get to the point where I don't even need to think about it. I'm just doing it. Some of the things I think I am there. There's a lot of subjects that I'm not there. Good luck to you with that one. It means making a habit of it where you don't have to go, you can automatically think certain things because you've trained yourself. You've trained yourself to think better, to be more positive, to be more loving, to be more open, to be whatever it is. You trained yourself, and now you don't really have to think about it anymore. You just do it. It's pretty cool. So I want to commend you on being in step 2 and 3, right? We're in step 2 and 3 right now. In fact, if you would put in the chat, maybe are you mostly in step 2 or 3 or 1? You're not in 1, or else you wouldn't be here, because you're aware that you don't know, apparently. So throw it in the chat if you wouldn't mind. Where are you at? Are you in step 2, 3, 4? Where are you at? I'm just curious. 3. Okay. All right. Yeah. Way to go, Valrinder. Right on. All right. Yep. Cool. Cool. Got a couple 3s. Anybody else? 3s. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We're finding out how to know. Good job, you guys. Yep. That's what we're doing right here. So, all right. So what's next? Here's a bunch of things about emotions. Thanks, you guys, for sharing. Emotional awareness. We're awareness first. Awareness first. It's at the top of the list. Awareness first. Got to be aware first. Second, identify. Well, these are not in order anymore. Awareness is first. The rest are, it's maybe mastery is last, but identification, being able to figure out what I'm feeling, literacy, be able to talk about it. What is it called? A lot of us, because we've never talked about it before, we don't even know the names of these emotions, right? If I go back to that feeling wheel, there's a bunch of words on there that are like, wow, this is, I understand the word, but wow, right? So that's literacy, being able to talk about it and explain it and understand. Agility, I like that one. That means, whoa, stuff's not going well. Well, I can shift over here, or I can adjust things, or I call it, I have a cool acronym or hashtag on it, spin it to win it. I like that one, spin it to win it. That means something's not going well. I'm like, well, I can adjust that inside of me. I can spin it just a little bit so that it, or a lot, and I'll feel a lot better if I do. So that's a really cool thing for me, is agility and spin it to win it thing. Regulation, very important, right? Aristotle said, being angry is easy. Being angry at the right time, with the right person, at the right volume, saying the right words at the right time. That's not so easy, right? So we need to regulate our emotions. We do. We don't need to stuff them down and shut ourselves off and cram them inside our body, but we do need to regulate how they come out if you want cool relationships. You can imagine, right? Control. Sometimes it is just plain old control. I am feeling this really strongly and I am not going to say it. That puts me in charge of my life. That puts me in charge, not them. I'm feeling something and it's maybe ugly. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to hit the guy. I'm not going to scream at my kids. I'm not going to do this and that. That's control, and that's a good thing. All right. Sometimes that's critical. Congruency. Congruency. That word means to me, having what's outside, what I show outside my face and my body language, be a match what's inside. A lot of people are feeling all this stuff inside and they go, hi, how are you? But that's not what they're feeling at all. They're not even close to what they're feeling, or the opposite. They're all upset, but well, usually that's what it is. Anyway, congruency is about what you see is what you get kind of thing, WYSIWYG. It's showing on the outside what you feel on the inside. I think I'm pretty good about that. Sometimes I get in trouble with that because I'm showing my inside and it's not pretty. So anyway, right now I'm showing my inside and it is pretty. It feels really good. So I'm showing it. So I'm trying to be congruent as we speak. and I'm aware of that, right? So, and I'm conscious of that. So that's, so I can make it happen. So eventually I'll be an emotional master someday. We'll see. Good luck. If you guys get there, let me know what it's like. All right. So big three positives: joy, peace, and love. We're going for the big three negatives are fear, anger, and sadness. Like I said, it's really helpful to have a great vocabulary, emotional vocabulary, so you can describe your feelings, at least to yourself. But means ignore what I just said. Here's what I really mean. And means and it's helpful to have a good vocabulary, and it's helpful to be able to just break it down. Is it fear, anger, or sadness, or some combination of those? So it's really helpful to me to just break it down and go, okay, all this stuff's going on in my brain. Oh, it's fear. Oh, I just got a bunch of fear about this and that and the other. I'm afraid about our economy. Our gas prices have more than doubled in the last 2 months, double. And that is creaming some people. They can't even function. There's way less cars on the road, and people are staying home. They can't go anywhere because it's unreal. And it's every day, it's going up every day. And we're really close to going to war with Russia. And I'm just, oh man. And everybody's very unhappy with our president, and was very unhappy with our last president, and things are not going well. The economy's not going well, etc. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I have a lot of fears. And I do have some anger about that too. And I have some sadness. I do, because we can't do some things, and people can't go places, and we can't see people because they can't afford it anymore. And it's ugly. So anyway, fear, anger, sadness, learn those three. They're the point. And here's my biggest point to this whole thing. If you don't take anything from today, please listen. This one thing, they're yours. Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your actions, your decisions, your attitudes, your values, your moods, all that stuff is yours. It's totally 100% yours. If you can agree to that, if you can take that leap and say, yes, I am in charge of me. I am what's happening inside. No matter what's happening outside, I get to choose what happens inside. Then you are in charge of your life. If you think it's them that did it to you, then you end up being a whiner, blamer, victim. Oh my gosh, poor me. Look what's happening to me. Oh, ain't it awful, kind of thing. Instead of saying, hey, yes, it is awful, and here's what I'm going to do about it. Or here, it is awful, and here's what I'm going to shift, and how I'm going to manage my insides, even though it's awful. That's called resilience and perseverance and grit. One of my favorite words. I didn't put it in here. I put it in the action section on Friday. Grit is a conscious choice. Grit is, this is going to be really hard, and I can do it anyway. This is really hard, and I can do it. I can do this. I can do this. You're like that, gritting your teeth. And it's emotional intelligence, skill, and it's a choice, and it's a learned competency, and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So learn about yourself and take this one thing, emotional responsibility. They're yours. No one can make you feel anything emotionally without your permission. They can't do it. I can make you feel something physically without your permission, but I can't make you feel anything without your permission. So it's up to you. Deal with it, but also love it. It's wonderful. That's the best news. It was a changer for me, life changer for me. It changed everything for me. I'm like, really? Because my dad, when we were in the Air Force, when I was a kid, my dad moved. We had to move all the time. He was in the United States Air Force, and we had to move all the time. And I felt out of control, completely out of control. A couple of years, I make new friends, and boom, we're gone. Or boom, they're gone, because they were military kids too. And boom, boom, boom. And I just felt like I was getting thrown around. We're going to other countries. We're dealing with, we're stuff that I'm like, what are we doing now? What are we doing now? I felt so out of control of my life. This changed everything for me, because I said, okay, yeah, we're moving. Okay, yeah, stuff's happening. Okay, yeah, stuff's not going well. I'm still in charge of me. I'm in charge of my insides. I'm like, oh, thank you. So this is a big deal. It's a very big deal to me. And I hope it's a big deal for you. So Oh, I should have done this a long time ago. Okay, so awareness, acceptance, action, three things. And that's how we're breaking up this workshop. That's why I'm doing it this way. Awareness first. We got to be aware. Like I said numerous times, I'm going to say it again. We got to be aware first. Then we got to accept, you guys, we got to accept things. And we'll talk about that at length tomorrow. It's amazing how much acceptance matters in this formula. It's super important. If we're aware of stuff and we don't accept it, we deny it, we lie to ourselves about it, we lie to other people about it, we try to, no, that's not how it is. Well, it is how it is. A lot of times that is how it is. And so if we can accept things, it can be so much easier. That's where our peace lies. A lot of times it's just like, you know what? It is going to be awful for a while. I think it's bad and it's getting worse. It's ugly. And so I'm accepting that. Okay, what am I going to do about it? I'm not fighting it anymore because it's happening. It's already happening. I can fight as much as I want to. I choose not to. I choose to figure out what to do about it. And that's a quick step of acceptance in there. A lot of times it's skipped over, but it's really, really important because if you don't accept it, it gets ugly. If you do, then you can do something about it. So we'll talk a lot about that tomorrow. Awareness, acceptance, and action. And action is, okay, now that I know, I see it, and I'm okay with it. All right, I got it. What am I going to do about it? Or what am I not going to do? What am I not going to do? Which is still an action. No action is an action. And it's a good action when it comes to emotional intelligence. A lot of times, a very good action. So, I have them separated. So awareness, thoughts and feelings. Boom, boom. Awareness, acceptance, not denial or blaming. We accept what is. Acceptance does not mean approval. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening that I do not like. A lot of them, and it's still happening. It's still happening. So I can accept that. I don't have to like it, but I do have to be honest with myself about it. Action or no action, do it. Once we're aware and accept, we can decide whether to take action or not. No matter what we think and feel, we get to choose what we do. We get to choose what we do, and that puts us in control of ourselves. So we got to deal with our left brain and our right brain. I already said that. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right. Now here's a whole new concept, and we're going to get into sharing a little bit in a minute. Okay. So let me go through this real quick, the instructions, and then we're going to go into breakout rooms again. But hang on here. Okay. Ready? How this works. This is according to Doc, my mentor, as I mentioned. Events happen. We put a meaning on events that happen. The events are happening outside of us. We then put a meaning on it, which means we take it inside. We have a thought and a feeling about what's happening, which means whatever's happening outside, we then think and feel about that. That then brings it inside. Now it's our problem. Right? We think stuff happens. What we think and feel about it is us. So now it's our problem. That's where the emotional responsibility comes in. And that's really important. So what does what's happening mean about us or to us? What does it mean? All right, something's just happening. All right, there's a tree growing. So does it mean anything about me? Not really. There's a person walking away. Does it mean anything about me? Or there's walking? No. All right, then no big deal, no big feeling, right? If I have a meaning on it that it means something about me, then I have a feeling about that, right? So the meaning is the left brain, it's a thought. The feeling is right brain, that's a feeling. And then we act, right? This is think, feel, act again. We thought something, we then feel something about it, and then we act based on what we thought and felt. So here's a little worksheet that that I made to help with that. We're going to do the top part of the worksheet. What happened? And it's event. What happened? It's just an event. It is a fact. It's the past. It's something that happened in the past. It was probably outside of us, or might have been inside of us. We tripped, or we had an accident, or whatever. It might be inside of us, but still something happened in the world, and it already happened, and it's in the past. What is it? And it's a fact. You can't change that one. You can't change that one. The other three you can change, but you can't change that one. So what did you decide? What did it mean about you, or about yourself, or about life? What kind of meaning? What's the belief system? It's another word for it. Belief system did we come up with because of what happened? This is how we healed trauma too, by the way, guys. This is how we deal with stuff in our past. A lot of people say that our past doesn't really matter. Just put it behind you. We don't have to spend any time there. It's gone. Turn around and face the future and let it go. Well, that's cool. It sounds good. It sounds good. I have not found that to be useful. I found it way more useful to look at my past, to study my past, and to find out what happened to me and what did I decide about my life as a result of that. What did I feel about that? And what am I doing now because of what happened then? Because a lot of times our meanings, these are big generalizations. You'll see in a minute with my example that they affect, even though I made these decisions, the stuff that happened to me was in my childhood. There's such big decisions about life that I'm still working on those. They still affect us, and your belief systems and meanings from the past still affect you in the future, in the present a lot, and they affect your future a lot sometimes. And we need to become aware of them and accept them, same thing, and then take some action, which means spend some time actually thinking about and working on our past so that you can figure out who you are now and who you want to be. What you need to change, what do you need to spin it to win it, what do you need to change to be awesome in the future. So again, what happened? I decided that this means blah, blah, blah about me, which made me feel bum, bum, bum. And therefore I did bum, bum, bum actions, right? So this is a thought, feeling, action again, but it's based on an event. So here, let me give you an example. All right. Like I said, we moved a lot. And I was leaving, they were leaving, everybody's moving all the time. What I decided as a little kid about this was I thought they were leaving me. Kids are really good observers, but they're not very good interpreters. And so I thought they were leaving me. And so I thought I was unlovable, that man, I'm getting teary just talking about this. I'm just saying it, but I felt like it was me, that they were leaving, and that I was a problem, and I was broken, and I was not worthy. And so that's what I decided watching all these people leave, and I didn't understand it, and I couldn't talk to anybody about it. So I don't know. It's got to be me. Kids usually say, well, yeah, it's me. You know, they're getting beaten by the parent or something, and they go, oh, well, it must be me. And they're like, wow, you know, so it's one of the ways we have to shift things to depersonalize things I decided life was painful, world is scary, men are not there. My dad was gone all the time and he was working. My mom is a victim. Her too. She didn't want to go, but she didn't have any choice either. Off we went, all of us. And so I decided some big things about life. I then made me feel hurt and afraid and angry and scared and sad and all the stuff. I was an angry little dude. My dad said, wow. And so some yucky things happened because of that. So you get the idea, right? It didn't go very well. So based on these meetings that I had. Now let's go to the next one real quick. And then I'm going to have you guys do it. So next is we moved a lot, right? Same thing, because it already happened. Same event. You can't change the event. It already happened. But I realized with a bunch of work that, you know what? Maybe it wasn't me. Maybe it wasn't me. Maybe they were just moving. Maybe we were moving. Maybe it didn't have anything to do with how lovable I was. So I'm trying to work on that one. I'm getting there, but I had to spin it to win it. I had to shift these meanings inside of me to say, yeah, maybe I had misobserved it. Maybe it's not me. And so, life is interesting. The world can be safe. Sometimes it's not, but it can be. Men can be strong. My dad didn't want to go, but he went, and he ended up a pretty awesome guy. He's still. And women can be compassionate, etc., which made me feel these new meanings. Made me feel, come on, safer, more peaceful, more connected, that kind of thing. And therefore, I had better behaviors. Acted better, different, more confidence, more ability to teach and to share with other people, etc. So adjusting things. So okay. So what I'd like for you guys to do, I hope, is there any questions so far first about that event, meaning, feeling, behavior thing. It's a little bit complicated sometimes, but it's also really simple at the same time. Any questions or comments about that? Sorry, I got to yapping too much. I didn't mean to do that much lecture, but okay. All right. So what I'm looking for is, if you could, is come up with an event that happened to you in your childhood, in your past. It could have been 15 minutes ago. It could have been when you were 5. It doesn't matter. And then see if you can figure out, what did you decide about that? These events usually are big negatives, maybe traumatic event for you, and look at what you generally decided about yourself and how you fit into life, how life is, that kind of thing. So if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to go ahead and put you back in the breakout rooms again. Let me see how I do that. I think I have to stop sharing first. And if you guys, there we go, same ones. And we'll do 6 minutes this time, give you a little bit more time. And go. What did you decide about life as a result of your pain?
Sir, before that, shall I ask one question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Any events, event can happen, but our response to that event makes the outcome. So, as you this will be decided only after the conclusion of the event. So is it a postmortem thing, or after the event we are thinking of that, or can we do it in an advanced way before that, or during the event?
I'm not understanding the question. I'm sorry.
No, any event, our response is the reason for our outcome. So if you are analyzing in this way,
okay.
After the event and our response, we are analyzing it as a past thing, is it? Then we can understand our response and modify it.
Okay. Okay, that sounds correct. Did I'm not
okay,
sure.
Sir, I will join back.
Okay. It's you.
Okay.
So do you want to go ahead and join your breakout room?
We have not received, Matt, the numbers.
What? I'm sorry, say it again.
I don't know. The breakout room number is not visible.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, because you were missing.
Thank
All right.
you. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, got it. Thank you so much. Got it.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and join. You got to click join. Hey, JN, how are we doing so far? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Yes, we are back.
How'd that go, Jinsey? How was that for you?
It was good actually. We couldn't discuss much before that we came back, and I just explained my experience. That's all. Sunil sir and then Shilpa was there. They were not able to speak.
Oh.
Answer.
Yes.
She has answered my question in a with a beautiful example with her own from her own life. Thank you.
Nice. Nice. Excellent.
So, sir, you please
Anybody else?
explain. The answer also you can explain.
Answer, she explained about her own life with the twins going to school in the sense during Corona time. She was, the kids were in the online, so they were not sitting idle. Now 8 years, that means maybe 6 years old.
Wow.
So there were complaints about they're not focusing on all that. She has to do her education, of Jinsey Madam has to do her education and her family thing also. In spite of that, she has analyzed this thing and what do you call that? Approach the system, approach the problem in a very nice manner. That was what, within a short time, she has explained very nicely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Am I right, Jinsey Madam?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead. Did someone else want to share?
Yes, sir, you can continue.
Okay. Belwinder, how about you?
Yeah, sure, I will share. During our session, we were not able to interact with each other. We were spending a lot of time on brainstorming. So by the time, time was running. So I can share one example where family conflict with a family member. So when it happened in the past, if I recall that event, I felt really, really bad about myself. And I felt I'm not trustworthy and I'm not friendly at all. My feelings were, I was feeling sad. I was feeling not good enough. So what happened as a result? I stopped talking to the family member for a long time. So then I learned some from similar webinar. Then I changed my perspective. Same event I recall. Then I give different meaning. Oh, I felt really compassionate, kind, loving towards my sister who was ignorant, who was egoistic, who was hurting because she was hurting. That's why she hurt me, right? So with that perspective, I changed the meaning. Then I felt good about myself. I felt connected with her and I felt empowered. I felt supercharged in my own self. And behavior, regardless, she is talking to me, she's responding to me. I kept continue sending her text message. Hey, hi, how are you? I love you, no matter what. Happy birthday, happy anniversary. I keep sending my loving message. Even when she has birthday or her kid's birthday, I bake cake and I deliver to her door. She doesn't want to talk to me, but that's okay. At least in my own world, I'm happy, I'm loving, I'm kind to myself. And now she's not hurting me. So I'm the creator of my own world. Thank you.
Nice. Nice. Good example. Good example. Isn't that great? It just a one little spin it to win it, and you little adjustment sometimes can make such a huge difference. So much difference. I love this stuff. And you notice the price, how much that costs for you to change that? How much did it cost for you to change that? Nothing, right? Nothing. Nothing. All of this stuff is we're born with everything that we need except for the education, and it doesn't cost us anything. EQ doesn't cost us anything ever. So it's a beautiful thing. So great job, you guys. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for digging into that. That can bring up some real strong emotions. So be careful of those later. If it did for you, to go back and look at some of the stuff that is some of your biggest pain of your life. So just be careful of that, but know that you're in charge and that you can do things with it. So good work, you guys. All right, so I'm going to go on a little bit. We're kind of running out of time here, so we're talking about peace just for a second. The point of this is peace. The point is this is peace. Our nonprofit is called EQ for Peace, because it's about peace. It's about inner peace. We can create peace inside of us first, which is what we're trying to do right now by adjusting things. That was a great example of Belwinder creating some peace inside of her just by changing her mind and her feelings. And this is about creating peace inside of us. We can create peace between us. We can create peace among us, socially, our team, our family, our class, our group, our culture, whatever it is, we can create peace that way. And then someday, maybe if enough of us know how to create peace, maybe we can get big peace. Maybe. We'll see. Hard to prove, but we'll see. I'm going to give it a shot. So it's all about peace, EQ for peace. It's not just about emotional intelligence. I used to think it was. I thought that was the ultimate, that it was, it's a really cool to be able to know about yourself and be able to do things for yourself, with yourself, in yourself. But the point is peace, and inside and outside of us. So my cool little hashtags I like to do, I already talked about name it to tame it, identify what you're feeling if you can, separate them. Sometimes I'm feeling all this stuff. What is it? Well, it's some fear. I see the fear, but I'm also angry about this, and I'm also sad about this. So it can be a bunch of these. And so if you name it and separate them and be able to identify, then you can break them down. If you just say, I feel awful, I feel bad today, I feel I'm anxious. Well, more specifically, if you can be more specific, it really helps. Just anxious is too big. About what specifically, and what you fear always has an object. There's something you're afraid of, and it's usually a picture in your mind. I'm afraid of not having enough money. I'm afraid of losing connection with people because they can't see them anymore. I'm afraid of all kind of stuff. But they're pictures in my mind, or something I've imagined. That's what I'm afraid of. And so it really helps to be able to identify more specifically. The big generalizations like, I'm not lovable. Like, what do I do with that? Well, I'm sad about this. I'm afraid. I'm angry. See if you can identify them. Spin it to win it. I said adjusting. That's what we're just doing with the EMFB worksheet. And feel it to heal it, baby. That's this one's not as popular as I'd like it to be. I believe this is one of the keys to emotional intelligence, is that sometimes, not all the time, you don't have to do it all the time, but sometimes when you're feeling stuff, it doesn't matter what it's called, and it doesn't matter where it started. It matters that you're feeling it, and it's in your body. And in order to get it out of your body, you gotta feel it. You gotta feel it. You can do all kinds of stuff you want in your head. You can spin it all you want to, but if you're still feeling it, you feel it. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself just fall into it and be as afraid as you actually are. Just close your eyes for a minute and just cry if you need to, scream if you need to, whatever it is, but your body, it's stuck in your body. We got to deal with both our thoughts and our feelings. So that the meanings and stuff, that worksheet is about the thoughts, that's identifying and describing what's going on inside of us. But the feelings are just plain old raw, nasty, ugly feelings sometimes. And if you allow yourself to cry sometimes and be really angry and be really afraid sometimes, your body is going to thank you. It's like, oh gosh, right? It's like, it's tacky, but It's like having to go to the bathroom and not letting yourself go. It's your body starts, doesn't go well. Your body is going to get more and more upset about it, and things are going to go on inside of you. And that's same with emotion. Sometimes we got to let it out. Some of my quotes about that are get in, get it out, get on, or let it out, let it go, let it flow, and then let it go. Let it flow and let it go. So sometimes feel it to heal it really works, you guys. Just plain old, it only takes a few minutes if you allow yourself to feel it. And if you don't judge it and you're okay with it, then you can you can allow it to release. So, okay, in conclusion, we are going to do a quick self-assessment. We only have 7 more minutes, but we're going to do an assessment of ourselves, and it's based on how do you deal with your emotions. This is not only to see how well you do, but it's also, these are the steps, in my opinion, these are what we've been working with for many years now. These are the steps to dealing with your real feelings, to actually deal with them. There's 7 questions, there's 7 steps. You decide, yeah, I'm really good at that, or no, not so good at that. 1 through 5. If you would put it in the chat, it's really fun. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so just throw it into the chat. Yes, we will. You are definitely recording this, and yes, I will post the recording later. I record everything, and so this is my 700th Zoom since COVID. 700. Anyway, okay, so 1 through 5. You ready in the chat? Ready? Okay, so first one. Guess what's first? Awareness, of course. Shocker, right? So how are you? Where are you? Put it in the chat, please. 1 through 5. When your body feels something like fear, anger, sadness, guilt, all that stuff, how well do you notice and become aware of your feelings? 1 through 5 in the chat. Go. 5. Boom. Nice. 5. Okay, it's not a competition. I shouldn't say nice. That's just thanks for sharing. Okay. Not so nice. Okay. See, good. Okay. All right. Be honest. I mean, just nobody, this is you. This is you. This is your baby. Once we hang up, it's still you. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So that's how aware you are. First step is awareness always, right? Okay. See what's happening. Second step, I'll bet you can guess, is acceptance. All right. How good are you at acceptance? Is it okay with you when you feel something, when you feel mad or glad or sad or whatever it is? Is it okay with you versus judging it? Do you try to stuff it? Do you try to deny it? Are you honest with yourself about it? Do you accept it? 1 through 5, go. All right. Got. All right. All right. Glad you're here, Bellwether. Good stuff. All right. Good. Thanks. Okay. So next is identification. So awareness, acceptance. All right. What is it? What is it? I'm feeling something and I accept it. What is it? Identification. When you notice that you're feeling something, how well do you identify what it is, the feeling that you're having? How well can you separate and name your feelings correctly? For example, fear and anger. A lot of times guys in particular get those two mixed up, and it's actually fear, but it comes out as anger, and it looks like anger, but it ain't anger really. It's really fear, to be honest. So how good are you identifying what you're feeling? All right. And keep track of your scores, by the way, because we're going to add them up at the end, just for fun. Again, this is a self thing, so it doesn't make any difference to anybody but you. So, okay, good. Thanks for sharing. All right, next, expression. Okay, once you got a feeling in you, how well do you express that feeling as needed? Sometimes it's not a good idea, but sometimes it is. How well do you express your feelings and let them out of your body as opposed to stuffing them down and bottling them inside? This is tricky, and this is something that we got to do for the rest of our lives. We get to learn how to express ourselves, that what's right for us and what's proper and what works, etc. So expression is a big deal. So, okay, we're aware of it. We identified it. We then can express things, right? Okay, thanks for sharing. All right, here comes the next one is after you express it, You let it go. Can you let it go? How good are you? Some people are angry and they express how angry they are, and then they express it some more, and then they express it some more, and then they express it some more. Never release it. They never let go of it. They never just be angry and stay angry. That doesn't help. That's not moving through. That's not progression. That's just being angry. And especially Americans, man, we're an angry bunch. Once your body feels a negative, unpleasant feeling, how well can you let go of that feeling? This is quite a skill too, by the way. And your body will thank you if you get good at this, because your body does not want you hold that junk around and it really is in you. It really is. You can't see it. They're called invisible wounds or whatever you want to call it, but it's in there and you will definitely notice as soon as you let go of it, you're like, wow, I didn't even know. Wow. Right. A lot of times we keep stuff in our neck or in our back or in our shoulders, whatever. And they stay there, and it causes dis-ease. It messes up your body if it stays there for a long time. So we need to get good at releasing our pain. All right. So cool. So we accepted it. We express some maybe or not. We let go of it. We release it. And then check this out. If you have big pain or something in your neck or in your back or whatever, and you let it go, there's a space there. There becomes a space where that was taking up space. We can then fill that space. We can replace the negative feeling with a positive, with something wonderful, with something like green or blue or love or peace or joy or light, whatever it is. You can fill up the negative space that was in you, the space the negative took in you, with positives, and it's very cool. So how skilled are you at replacing your anger, sadness, fear with positives? This is another huge competency, another skill that is fantastic to have, is that you take something, you find it, you get it out of there, you let it go, and you fill back up. You fill back up. What I do is open my top chakra up here and ask my higher power, how much blue do you have? Can you give me some blue, some light, beautiful blue? Or I'm looking out the window. We live in the woods, and there's trees. So there's green, amazing green out there. And I want green all over me and inside and outside. And it's very cool. So, and so lastly, we have rejoice. Ta-da! Rejoice means congratulations. Somebody was mentioning earlier about patting themselves on the back or getting some self-confidence and some self-acceptance. And you go, dude, way to go. Again, this is all you. Nobody has to see any of this stuff if you don't want. But it's about encouraging yourself and supporting yourself and respecting your true feelings, complimenting, not beating on yourself. I can't believe I did that. It's like, oh, way to go. That was cool. So how'd it go? Here's the 7 steps: awareness, acceptance, identification, expression, release, replace, rejoice. I'm going to do a whole thing on release, replace, rejoice. It kind of sums everything up with your feelings. So how'd you do? Add up your score. If you don't mind putting your total score in, that would be cool. If not, it's okay. But just know that, of course, higher is better. It's up to you. You do this work on your own by yourself. You don't need anybody to do this with. Just do it. Just do it. But it's up to you is how much time you spend on it, and whether you spend any time on it, and how well you do. So anybody want to put their final score in the chat? It's up to you. So how'd you do? What do you think about how you did? What do you want to do different? What actions are you going to take now that you're aware and you accept what you just came up with? And what are you going to do different? What are you going to do better for yourself? How can you better understand yourself? So, all right. So reflection, next steps for tomorrow. If you would maybe spend some more time reflecting on what we just talked about, some of the stuff about maybe in your childhood, about the event meaning, what meanings you put on things, what feelings came from those, doing those, the event meaning, feeling, behavior thing. See if you could spend some time on that, maybe journal a little bit. I'm really big on journaling, writing in a notebook. And writing down my thoughts. Nobody has to see them ever unless you want, but it's really beautiful way, super inexpensive way to increase your emotional intelligence. Tomorrow we're going to talk about acceptance. Acceptance, it's a big deal, very big deal. We got a lot about that. Think about all the things that would be helpful if you did accept them. And then action. We'll talk about actions or no actions on Friday. So, and then we'll give you at the end a bunch of resources and a certification at the end of this. Jayan is asking, kindly WhatsApp your full name to this number that's in the chat, and he'll give you a certificate on Friday, okay? So bottom line for today, decide your emotions, that they're yours. Take emotional responsibility. As I said, if you don't do anything else, do that, please, please, please. Release, learn how to release negatives and share this, because most people don't know what we're talking about. They don't know that they don't know, and they don't know that emotions are a problem. They don't know that there's solution. Please show anybody else. It doesn't matter who it is, your little brother, somebody at work, your sister, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. Teach somebody, please, once you know, because what did they say? With great power comes great responsibility, right? That's a line from a movie, famous line. Anybody know what movie that was? With great power comes great responsibility. That's what we got here. So, and we can be friends. We can, on WhatsApp down the bottom, we got Facebook, we got our nonprofit, etc. So I'm going to stop sharing. Yeah, learn for self first. That's fine, and share with others, but don't get stuck there, because some people, oh, I'm not done yet. You can start sharing right now. You know enough already about when you're already right now to start sharing this about it. Even at least like, did you know ever what I do? I ask people all the time, people I don't even know. I'm standing in line, or I'm standing at the gym and we're both in the locker room at the same time or whatever. I go, have you ever heard of emotional intelligence? And about half the people go, nope, I have no idea what you're talking about. What? I've never heard those words before. And so I go, what do you think that might mean? And, emotional intelligence, being smart with your heart, being smart with your fear and your anger and sadness, actually. And they're like, wow, no, I never thought of that. A couple people, I think that was a life changer just in itself. They're like, oh, really? Yeah, really? You can do that? I'm like, really? So anyway, and then the other half people, they have heard of it and they like it. And so we go on from there. Show the previous slideshow. I'm not sure what you mean. Show it. The whole thing? No, I can't. What do you mean? Please. You just want the last slide, or Sacred Heart? What do you mean by that? Any other questions, comments, you guys? Complaints? Sorry, I went a few minutes over. Sorry, I went so fast. Actually, I'm not sorry I went so fast. I got so much. I've got 350 slides in my main group. I'm only picked out a couple of them to show you guys. There's so much. This is like a tree I was writing this morning. We're working on the foundation, the roots and the branch and the main trunk of the tree. We're working on the main part of it, but it branches out all over the place, and we can go so many different ways with this. And as you go out, I was thinking of it like fruit. There's low hanging fruit where you can pick fruit really easily. And then there's some that's way out on the branch as well. We got to go out there sometimes into the skinny limbs, we call them. You're working in the skinny limbs. This is vulnerable, scary stuff sometimes, and it's still worth it. It's still, we can learn it. There's some great fruit out there also, but you can go in a whole bunch of different directions. So, anything else, you guys? Any other comments or complaints or anything? Jayan, do you have a feedback form?
No, not today.
Or maybe tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
All
right.
Sir asked one question. You continue.
Okay.
Sir, I just want to get more explanation about the emotional congruence you are mentioning in one of the slides. Emotional congruence.
I wish I could understand you better. Say it one more time, please, sir.
Emotional congruence.
I heard emotions. I didn't catch the second part.
Congruence.
The good?
Oh,
congruence.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Congruency. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a big part. If that's important for you, it's important. And know the other part of that is know that a lot of people are not being congruent. That is not what they're feeling. What they look like, it's not what they're feeling. And so if you know that, that's part of emotional intelligence too, is to know what's going on with other people. And some teams, a lot of people are emotionally clueless, I call it. And What does it mean? Oh, congruency. Congruency is that outside, your outside is showing what's going on inside. You're congruent. You're the same outside as you are inside. Meaning, if I'm happy inside, I could show happy outside, right? If I'm not happy inside, but I'm trying to show that I'm happy outside, that's not being congruent, right? That's not being congruent. So I hope that makes sense, but it's about your inside versus your outside. WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. That's what's real for me, and that's what I'm showing, and that's what I often do, and sometimes I get in trouble for that, but thanks for the explanation, you guys. On Google Meet, it does a closed caption down the bottom, and it tries to guess what people are saying, and I love that because I have hearing problems and such. But so if you could help me, if I'm not understanding, help somebody else write it in the chat. It's really helpful. Thank you. What else?
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. It was such a wonderful webinar today. This was my second opportunity. Today, my takeaway is, if we all in this world can remember, I'm the creator of my emotions, my thought, my feelings, then we are win, 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 win.
Yep.
Whenever I have a conflict with my son, whenever he gets angry, he does not recognize he is creating anger. When I say that, you're a creator of your feeling, he does not believe that, he does not trust that, he becomes more angry. So I wish by attending your upcoming webinar, hopefully I would be able to help myself as well as my son and other people. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Great, great. All right. Sir Sunil Kumar, you had your hand up?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful session. I have attended some of the local sessions, in the sense on emotion intelligence. The first time I'm hearing in a very different way. Thank you. We are anxiously waiting for day 2 and 3.
Great, good, good. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Jayan?
Yes, thank you very much for all the participants. Tomorrow also same link. Kindly send your full name to my WhatsApp number for preparing the certificate. So we can distribute certificate Friday, after Friday. Okay, thank you very much and good night.
Good night, guys. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Good night. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye, all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.